When it comes to growing the perfect manicured lawn, it's this next grower who you want to talk to. Colm went to Meath to see what the largest manicured lawn in Ireland looks like and to chat with the brothers who grow it.
For many years, if you wanted a new lawn in your garden, you had to sow seeds, water it, weed it, probably reseed the bald patches, and pray that Mother Nature looked after the rest. Nowadays, you can get your lawn grown by a specialised grass farmer. The turf production sector is a relatively small and niche business in Ireland, but when you have an ex-dairy farmer with 2 sons who are greenkeepers, it was probably a good business to get into. So Eric, these fields used to be roaming with cattle at one stage. When did you transition out of that?
Well, my mother and father would have set up a dairy farm in the late 70s, and we would have been farming maybe 40 dairy cows, 60 head of beef. It was in the late 90s then when John would have been greenkeeping in Druids Glen that he came back with the idea of putting some of the farm into a turf nursery. I was studying at the time in Headford Golf Club in Kells, training to be a greenkeeper, so it was just a natural progression into growing a different type of grass.
So you're both working in the golf courses. Did you spot an opportunity in the market there for some turf production?
Yeah, we've seen a gap in the market. The golf clubs were looking for turf grass and finding it hard to get, so we started producing it and it basically took off from there. At the time the boom was starting to kick off and there was a big demand for grass, for back gardens, for football pitches, etc., you know.
So how big is the turf industry in Ireland?
I suppose maybe there might be 5, maybe 6 turf growers in the country, you know. We've managed to grow from being one of the smallest to being right up there with some of the biggest in the country.
I'm probably standing in the biggest lawn in Ireland, is that fair to say?
Probably standing in one of the biggest lawns in Ireland there, bar the Phoenix Park maybe.
Summerhill Lawns has over 200 acres on the farm, and of that, 170 acres is used solely for lawn turf. It usually takes anywhere between 14 to 18 months for the lawn to fully grow and be ready for harvesting. But it's not as simple as just throwing down a few seeds.
You start with a clean field, we plough, till, so there's an awful lot of work in the cultivation. At the end of the day, we're lifting a turf. It needs to be as smooth as possible. It needs to be stone free. So there's a lot of work that goes in preparing that fine tilt on a field scenario. We work with seed technicians out of seed houses, and before we select a seed that we use for a grass seed mixture, we're checking out for shoot density, or checking out for disease tolerance, and we're checking out how does it handle on wear and tear.
So what's actually involved in the harvesting process?
To harvest the roll of sod, it's dug with a spade underneath. It goes up to conveyor, there's down pressures on the actual roll to make it into a tight roll, and then it's stacked on a pallet.
Not only do John and Eric grow lawn turf, but in the last few years there's been an increase in the people looking to help the environment. This has motivated the 2 farmers to start growing wildflower meadows, which helps biodiversity by attracting a wide range of pollinators.
The wildflower turf or wildflower areas does help the pollinating insects to create that nectar for them. It also provides a floral display for people to enjoy and look at as well. So it has many different advantages and benefits.
So what's the growing medium that you're using here?
Our substrate that the wildflowers grow in is actually originated from green waste. So it's from landscapers and DIY green waste that comes to recycling centres. It goes to a composter, and then it gets delivered to the farm in a compost format that we use to grow the wildflowers in.
They're essentially lawn weeds, aren't they?
That's the funny part of it. For 20 years we're growing lawns and we're keeping weeds out because we want them pristine. Now those weeds that we would have been taken out of the lawn, we're now trying to protect them and grow them in the wildflower turf scenario, for sure.
From 2 groundskeepers to being one of Ireland's largest turf growers, it's been quite the journey, transitioning from milking cows to now mowing the biggest lawn in Ireland.